Everybody. Today I'm going to divide this session how to improve your memory power into three parts. The first part I'm going to take the practical examples, a practical way of dealing as to how you can improve your powers, because I believe completely into practical way rather than the theoretical approach. The second part will be I'll be sharing with you experiences since last 6 years I'm into this field. So how others have got benefit into this field, and how through improving your creativity, visualization, imagination powers, and how you can synchronize with your right brain and left brain both clubbed together, how wonderful effects you can get. I'm just going to share some of the experiences. And the third part will be completely the question answer session. So whatever questions you have, you can just raise forward. To the best of my ability, I'll try to answer those questions. Okay, let's start with the first part. Practical approach. Now, it's always you might have read books, you might have browsed through the internet websites as to how the memory can improve and what are the benefits of it. So first important aspect is how practically we can really enhance our memory. The first step is to understand what memory is, whether how it is important for me. Today. Okay, so once we understand that what are the different areas where I can improve. Now the brain is composed of two parts, that is one left part and the right part. So left part is a complete logical part which we all deal with, the decision making, the analysis, the language which we speak, that is completely a logical brain approach. The right brain is a creative approach, imagination. We all imagine things, we see in terms of pictures. Now whatever I am talking with you, the terms which you are familiar with it, you mostly see in terms of pictures. Now if I say a huge building, so all of you are, whatever building picture comes to your mind, so you see the picture, not the words. BUILDing doesn't immediately come. The picture of the building comes immediately in front of you. So rather than focusing on the words or alphabets or numbers which are abstract, let us focus more on images. Let us make ourselves more pictorial. The more we make ourselves more pictorial, the more we are able to memorize things and able to recall things. Now, right from whenever we get up in the morning, okay, let's say if I, whatever Almighty we believe, if we see Him, okay, then the feel which we get internally, the senses which we have, these are powerful senses. So that powerful senses helps us to motivate the whole day what we should do and give us the powers to move ahead, right? So imagining the picture of the Almighty itself gives you a complete power. So that's the first step wherein you are ready to accept the powers and use it for your own benefit. The secondly, the practical thing which you can do is now regularly we all we either right-handed or left-handed. So dominancy is right hand or left hand. If we are right-handed, the neurons, these are links which are connected, they are completely to the left side of the body. The left side is a logical brain. That's why we are more powerful in a logical brain. The people who are using left-handed, their links are connected to the right side of the body, so that more of the creative sides can be exposed and more be enhanced if it is not done yet. So they have more powers, and if we are dominant on the right side, let's use our left side from tomorrow onwards. I'll brush my teeth, I'll take the brush on my left hand and start brushing. So what will happen? My right side also will get more prominent and my creative and visual ability will improve. So imagination powers will improve. The same way, whatever we do, say I'm drinking my tea or coffee with the right hand, I take the cup in my left hand and drink it. So if you create a habit out of it, say its habit comes, there's a rule, golden rule of 21 days. So if you follow the 21 days, you will be habitual of using every time through left-handed and doing up the activity. So these small aspects can help you to build up the things. Now drinking warm water. Warm water helps you to nourish this. It's a very agent which sparks the electrical and chemicals reactions within us. Now what is this electrical and chemical reactions? When I am speaking with you, the electrical rays are flowing through you, and those rays you catch those rays and convert them into the language which you know. Now suppose I start speaking with you in Spanish or German, the rays will reach you, but since the language is not known to you, it will again reflect back to me, and that rays you will not be able to get. So electrical signals are not passed on to you. Similarly, the chemical vibrations, the chemical signals are passed through emotions. When I tell you a joke, you all laugh. Why you laugh? Because the chemical signals has been processed, and that gives a signal to that area, and your neurons get activated and they start the blast. Similarly, if I tell you a sad story, you'll all be very unhappy. So like this, we have those different compartments in our brain. There are nearly about 38 compartments, which completely filled with neurons. We have 100 billion neurons. So this 38 compartments are such a way that they help you to memorize in different aspects. Now the research had been gone as where the memory is actually stored. Okay, so here in some part, in whether on right side or left side, or which part of the body. But if we really analyze that, memory is completely stored throughout our body. Wherever we feel like, suppose I have a knee pain, and later on after some days somebody asks me where was the pain. Now the pain is not there after some time, but whenever I touch it, I have the feel, I have the senses that yes, that this part was very painful for me. So why? Because the memories are stored over there. Right from the birth till now, each and every moment has been stored. Our subconscious mind is called as a warehouse, wherein we store all the information. That's why whenever we meet some people, or whenever we want to remember certain incident, someone gives us a hint, and with that hint we are able to captivate that information. Why we are able to captivate? Because that memory has been stored. Another aspect of to be more creative is, now a lot of senior citizens or aged people ask me, my memory is getting deteriorated. Okay, what is happening? Actually, it is not getting deteriorated. A memory, if you scan the brain of a senior citizen and if you scan the brain of a young student of 19, 20 years old, they are literally the same. The only difference is the pile of information which has been captured is, the information is much more, and we need to learn the process of learning, unlearn and relearn. As in a computers, when now if I have a capacity of say 100 GB, and if it is full, I cannot put more information into it. The processing speed will reduce, right? And when I delete those information which I don't want it, and then I put something else, the information is loaded, and once I put lot of information outside, then the processing speed increases. Why? Because there is a space to process my information. Now what is happening in the elderly citizens? There is a lot of information which is there, and when I tell somebody to remember certain things, the information is processing very slow, and we don't have that much patience to wait till that information comes in. So then we say, okay, forget it. When we say forget it, the processing stops. Just like in Google, we put some word and try to process it and get the information, it's processing, but when we stop it, it does not give you the information because you have stopped processing it. The same process starts activating in our brain, and we stop the information, and then we say, okay, I forgot. So the time delay is there. Yes, time delay as the age processes because of the information stored, because you have a lot of information, because you have a lot of learnings, lot of knowledge. So those knowledge which is not yet not required, you need to learn to unlearn that. You need to detach it. And once you detach from your brain, then new knowledge which is really required at that age, if you captivate that knowledge, it can definitely help you to progress your memory. The second thing is, if normally when we travel, we don't have, we are not inclined towards looking at what is happening besides, because we are in our own thoughts, we are in our own way of progressing towards our goal or where we have to reach. Okay, so we are completely focused or goal oriented towards the target. But what is happening in this process? We neglect a lot of things. Maybe today it is not of important to me, today it is not used for me, but later on, maybe tomorrow or day after or next month, they might be useful for me. Why not be more cautious? Because the same time I am going to take to reach from one place to the next place. Why not be more attentive? Why not be more conscious when we are walking, when we are doing certain activity? When we are conscious, our memory captures the information. If we are not conscious, we will not capture the information. Now let's take a simple example. We meet a lot of people, right? in a month we meet at least say 10 to 15 minimum. Okay, how many of you remember all the 15 names? We remember only the names which we know, which we want to do business with them, or we want to build up a relationship with them, or we like them. The others, yes, we just casually meet, so we just shake hands with them. Okay, I am Sushant. Can I know your name?
Umakant Parab.
Umakant Parab. So in this sense, what is happening? My sensory, Umakant Parab, now the sensory memory has cached this information, Umakant Parab, for sensory memories for just a short duration. Now after half an hour, if I consciously try to remember Umakant Kadam, Parab, see, conscious effort has to be made to remember. So what you need to do, you need to repeat. Okay, I'll say, Mr. Umakant Parab, what you do? Okay, Mr. Umakant, nice meeting you. So what I am doing, indirectly I am registering his name. I want to store his name. So if I repeat 3 to 4 times, this is called as a rote memory. That's a part of the memory. So with the rote memory, I can register his name and I can put in my short-term memory. My short-term memory can last for say 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Then if I regularly meet him, then I transform the short-term memory into a long-term memory. If we meet it regularly, all your names will be, I'll be registering, and even after 1 year I come for a session, each one of your names will be called out, because we are in touch with each other, and now from the short-term memory I have transformed these names to the long-term memory. So sensory, short-term memory and long-term memory. So we need to decide what information we need to keep. So the information which is for short life, keep it in short-term memory, forget it. So now how the memory is, I'll just show you in pictorial format how these memories are stored, so that you can get a contact of it. Can I have a pen please? As I told you, we have 100 billion neurons. Now is it all this, are they required for us? Are we going to consciously also, are we going to use these neurons every day? Let's say 10%, we will try to use these neurons. Okay. Now how to use these neurons? So now these neurons, one neuron is connected to around 10,000 other neurons. So the capacity is multiple. So it's a complete complex network. The neurons are being associated with lots of neurons and the information is passed on. Okay. Now what happens when I am communicating with you? Now this is my neuron, I am communicating with your neuron. So when this part and this part get connected with each other, the information is being flowed. This is the information which gets, the electrical signals are passed on to you, and it depends, as I told you, sensory information, if sensory information, the connectivity disconnected. Once we share our names, the connectivity disconnected. Now we talk on different terms, and after half an hour I have completely forgotten your name, because this neuron has gone somewhere else, because I have not consciously want to try to remember your name. If I say, okay Mr. Umakant, how are you? Okay Mr. Umakant, what you are doing? Okay, fine. Umakant, please can you share me your visiting card? So what I am doing, I am consciously trying to build up this network. And once this network is built up, okay, it's permanent. Unless and until maybe I don't see you or meet you, then, but this memory is stored. And in this neuron, this information is stored. A bit of information, as we have bits, kilobytes, megabytes in our PC, the same here, the bytes have been stored over here. Now these are called dendrites, and now I want to, when I repeatedly I want to join it, there is a glue, just like a glue, it gets stuck up and the information is stored. Now whenever I see you, if I associate with some techniques, in memory we teach lots of techniques. If we use the technique, this gets associated permanently, it goes in long-term memory, and whenever you meet, I just for a few seconds, the search will go on. Yes, I have seen this person, what's his name, what I had associated with him, what I have linked with him, and in a few seconds I get, yes Mr. Umakant, how are you? So here the information is being, why? Because it has been stored permanently in my memory. So that's why you need to associate those information and get it. So there are lots of, the link which connects this two is called as a synapses. One synapse. So one synapse can be connected to 10,000 other synapses. Now if I get to know that Mr. Umakant is working in a company, so the name of the company attached, he has his family attached, he has 2 kids, all this information is attached to that thing. So whenever I next time meet him, if whatever information I store, whatever information is interest to me, whatever information I want to keep about him, I'll store over here, and next time I'll say, okay, how are your kids? Okay, you are working in so and so company. Are you still in that company? How is your family? So this goes on if I have to make a conscious effort for it. If I don't make a conscious effort, these links are not going to be there. These are going to get disconnected. So you have to build up a conscious network so that you can build up the information which you want to store it in a long-term memory. And we only have to decide consciously which information I need to store for a short term, which information I need to store for long term. Now as a student stores this information they want to reproduce during the time of examinations. So they need to know how to compile those information, how to read those information, how to comprehend those information, and then use it during the time of the examination. Okay. The next important aspect is the practical way is your handwriting. Your handwriting makes a huge difference. Now if you are right-handed, say I write my name here. Now what is happening? Through these connections are, again as I told you, completely right hand, so left side my connections are there. Now if I consciously try to write with the left hand, so what is, initially yes, we are not going to have the same handwriting, but later on the pattern has been created, the functionality is built up, and we are able to write in a similar fashion. So we need to work out consciously. Again every time I'm repeating the word consciously, because every memory is stored if you are attentive and conscious. If you are not conscious, you will not be able to store the information. Now in a lecture, whenever you talk with somebody, or when you are talking in a lecture, there are people who are listening to you. You also see that physically they are listening to you, but if you ask them, maybe they will be completely blank. Why? Because they were somewhere else. Physical presence was there, but the mental presence was not there. It happens to all of us. We have a monkey mind within us which travels. It goes, because the thought process, it goes along with the thoughts. So now there are 60 to 70,000 thoughts are processed throughout the day. A thought which is very encouraging, we move along with the thought. So we need to again consciously bring back that thought. Yes, I am listening to lecture, I want to understand what this person is going to say. So consciously I bring that and I say, okay, now I am back. Again after a few minutes maybe some other thought drives away. So it is you have to bring that thought back to the place so that you can be more attentive. Because attention is a mother of memory. If you are attentive, it will be stored in the memory. If you are not attentive, it will not be stored in the memory. So it lot many times happens. I deal with lot of students. So the parents complain that no, he doesn't understand only, he is not writing only, he doesn't read only. Now when I talk with the child, there are a lot of factors which we come to know that yes, he is interested in writing, he is interested in reading, he is interested in to do his studies, he likes to read books. Then what the problem? Where is the problem? The complaints are the same, but he is interested. It's not that he is not interested. So there are a lot of factors which come into picture. Now there are 3 types of learners which we have. V stands for visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Now I appeal to all the teachers that you need to understand what type of students you are dealing with. In a class of 50 students, there are students who are visual, there are students who are auditory, there are students who are kinesthetic. So if you try to analyze and understand what type of students are there, lots of problems can be solved. A visual student should be able to see this board in a proper way. If the visual student is sitting right back and he is not able to visualize or he is not able to see what has been written, he will copy whatever he thinks so. And then in the examination, he is going to repeat the same thing which is wrong. And he is going to get less marks. So parents say, no, he doesn't understand, whatever he copies, rubbish he copies and comes. Student is not able to explain, he is not able to express what is happening because he himself doesn't know that he is a visual learner. The same with the auditory learner. If as a teacher, if my voice is low, hello, I am teaching you all, how are you, and this is the subject, the last bench is not able to hear my voice. He will interpret the information the way he wants it. And the interpretation may be wrong, may be completely different from what the subject matter is, and he will be in a soup. So maybe in the class he is not able to understand, maybe in the house one-to-one he is able to immediately catch up the things and he moves fast. But if he doesn't get proper attention, proper way of teaching, he will again get less marks. The kinesthetic. Now again auditory. One more aspect which I wanted to put forward, since you all are parents. When we see a child reading loudly or slow, okay, depends. Most of the parents say, okay, read loudly, I need to understand what you are reading. Actually, he is a visual learner, he is visualizing things, and if he reads out, his auditory will be on hold in his visualization. So he will not be able to understand what he is reading. You will be satisfied that yes, he has done the complete one lesson. But what is the quantity of work he has been done? Where is the quality? Have you checked whether he understands? And then if he doesn't understand, you say that, oh, instead of reading 2 times, you are not able to understand. Now, where's the question? What's the question? He is a visual learner and you are making him compulsory to be auditory because you are auditory. I have spoken with lots of parents. I asked them, why are you telling him to read loudly? I used to read loudly. So we expect that the same thing should be repeated with the children. It's not like this. All the 3 are equally important. I totally agree. But if he is visual, let him explore his visualization. He'll be more active. He will get good marks. He'll progress in his examinations. The auditory learners like to read loudly. Parents say, hey, don't read loudly. I'm watching a TV. I'm watching my serial. I'm getting disturbed. That poor fellow, he reads in his mind, he is not able to understand anything because he is not able to hear the sound. If he is not able to hear the sound, he cannot understand, he cannot comprehend, and if he is not able to comprehend, he cannot recall in the examinations. The kinesthetic learner, he wants to move and take the book and move and read. He said, yes, sit down, don't move like this, it is disturbing us. We have a small house and you are moving like a monkey, sit down and read. Sorry, this type of children will not be able to understand the things, they will just fidgeting along, they will not study even in spite of sitting at one place. So you need to understand what type of learner my child is. If he is a visual, let him explore his visual. In visual, students see more in terms of pictures. They imagine a lot. So they see in terms of stories. So whenever he is reading an answer, he is saying it and actually he is grasping those information, grasping those pictures. As I told you, 85% of the things are in terms of image, pictures. Balance 15, whatever we read, whatever we speak, whatever we observe, that are completely 15%. Everything we see in terms of visuals. Now also, I'm looking at you, I can see the left side also, right side also, both the sides. So our peripheral vision is so high, but we don't know how to make use of it. There are techniques as to how you can effectively use your peripheral vision and be quicker in different activities. Okay, the auditory learner, okay, let me complete about the visual learner. The visual learners are more inclined towards creating stories. They like to create stories. They like to create they're more innovative. They see in terms of pictures, they transform, if they're not able to do it, they transform that into pictures and that helps them. So brain mapping is one of the techniques. A creative brain mapping is one of the techniques which helps them to create a model of what they have learned, and the same model they literally copy when they sit for the examination. There is no cheat, but visualization, they visualize the thing and they literally write as it is. I am a highly visual learner. I can narrate my incidents. Whenever I go for examination, I visualize the things, and literally if the other person takes half an hour to write one answer, I write it in 15 to 20 minutes. Because I am literally visualizing and just noting down the points. I can see the points, I can visualize them, I can feel them, and when you visualize them, you can easily put on paper. They are more inclined towards, rather than understanding the words, they try to convert them into a pictorial format. Now for them, the colors play a very important role. They see in terms of multiples. Colors help them, senses can help them. Senses can help all of them, because we have the 5 senses. They really, how do we really use it? Now visualize the seeing aspect. I am forced to see. You are also forced to see me. There is no option. I don't have option, you don't have option. This is but consciously what we are doing. This is subconsciously. We are, whatever comes in front of us we see. But consciously, are we really seeing some things? Are we observing them? Are we feeling them? Do I know how it feels when I touch the chair? Do I know how it feels when I touch this? What type of material, or how I feel it? Does it sounds good, or what can be done? So this small thing, this may be, we will feel that okay, it's not so important for me, but later on this helps us to boost our creativity. It helps us to boost our neurons, because you need to activate it. The whole body we exercise it, but what we do for our brain? Conscious effort, what we do. So these are the, now when I am doing this, I am making a conscious effort to see how it feels. So next time when I come, whenever I just touch this, I'll get a feel of that. So that is activating my neurons consciously. So I am more activating them. Now the concept of neuron is just like the days, just like 24 hours. You don't get the 24 hours, today's 24 hours you don't get tomorrow. They are fresh 24 hours we get. Same with the neurons. Every day 10,000 neurons die. 10,000 plus as we progress in the age. Now what happens? Then when 10,000 neurons die, the fresh 10,000 neurons are replaced with them. Nothing to worry about it. The information is passed, the dead cells pass information which you have stored to them, which you have not stored consciously, are gone. So many times happen. Suppose I, while leaving from here, I keep this pen there, and then they are searching, where is the pen? And they call me, sir, yesterday you had a pen, where have you kept it? So I don't know, because I have not kept it consciously. Just while talking with you, I have dropped the pen and I am talking with you. So in spite of calling me, I said, okay, sorry, I don't know where I have kept it. I am extremely sorry for that. Then they will search and then they will get it. Now what has happened? The neurons which have gone, they have not passed on this information which I have kept it there. Those neurons have gone. So conscious effort, whatever I made it, the duster, I consciously keep it, let's say here, so that maybe tomorrow they will get it. So this is a conscious. Tomorrow they will give you a call, I tell, yes, duster, I have kept it there. Those information has been passed on to, even if the neurons are dead, they have passed on that information that the duster have been kept at this particular location. So now again this can also happen that I may say, wait, I'll just recall where it has kept, because I have not made any association, because memory is completely based on association. We want to remember certain things, you have to associate it. Now I have to associate this with TV, then only I can instantly tell him that it's near the TV. If I am not linked with the TV, I may take some time. Wait, I'll try to guess what I did. Okay, I lifted the thing, then what I did with my right hand, what I did. I'll have to search for this information. Maybe I'll get it in 2 minutes, maybe I'll get it in 5 minutes, or maybe I'll not get it also, because I have not made the left and right linkage. Now what is this left and right linkage? Now this is logical. I am taking from one place and keeping at other. This is logical. Where is the creative part? There is no creative part. So when logical brain I have applied, I have not applied my creative brain. So now if I apply my creative brain, creativity is what? Imagine visualization, creative visualization. Now if I visualize something, now say this, I visualize this screen, okay. Now this is common. What does right brain indicate? That you visualize a certain thing which is something absurd, vivid, something fantasy. The more you act funny, or more you look in terms of funny aspects, the more your memory will be able to support you, the support system. So it will be able to catch that information. So if I see that this duster, somebody from the desktop has come and taken the duster and have cleaned all this. So what I have created a story. I've been more creative. This is my creativity. Everybody of us are very creative. So what we have to create, we need to create. And believe me, creativity is a simple thing if we utilize it and do it regular basis. Otherwise creativity will feel, I'm not a creative person. We all of us are creative people. Right from the birth we are creative. I'll prove it. When you were small, when you were hungry, still you are able to convince your parents, your mother, that I'm hungry, I want some food, without speaking a single word. So what you have expressed through creativity. Some child cries, some child do some activity, some child takes a cane and hits it, whatever. The activities are different. So that's a creative activity. So right from the birth we are creative, but later on it is not been developed. We don't know how to develop it. We ask n number of questions when we are small. As a child we ask whatever comes in our mind, we ask. It depends upon our parents, society, how they reciprocate, how they put forward their answers. Based on that we think whether to ask or not. If I don't entertain a child, he will not ask me further questions. If I entertain him and I try to convince him or try to give some answer, he becomes more curious. Okay, why not this? Why this? If you see today's technological children, they are very curious. They want different answers. They want to know more. We need to take initiative and try to convince them. If we don't have the answer, we can tell them, yes, today I don't have the answer. I'll find it out and I'll give it to you. So that at least they have a feel that yes, there's some answer. Every issues or challenges has the answer. If there is a n plus 1 solution, if n is a solution, there is always a plus 1 solution. Only we need to identify that. Okay, now I just wanted to have a small creative exercise. Let's see how creative we are. Okay, now let's say okay, what is this? You know, that's why. Suppose as a child you don't know what this is. What you will name it? Okay, glass. Okay, a glass, some glass, type of glass. Okay, what else? How it can be transformed? So if you just be as a child and you will enjoy. So if I just keep this, what does it look like? From any angle you can look. You will look into 2-dimensional, look into 3-dimensional. You will find n number of pictures.
Big insect.
Yes, great. Big insect. Something different, something vivid is there. Absurd. So when we, now these things we are aware about it. Think of that, I am not aware about certain things, then what I will name it. This is one of the classic creative exercises. Take any instrument. Take a rubber, take a pencil, take a chair, whatever you feel like, and try to analyze, try to visualize, okay, what this can be. If I would have not known that this is spectacles, what different aspects I would have named it, how it can be transformed. Maybe this can help you to bring out the solution you are working out. These are some of the classic creative exercises which are used in the corporates. Now if I tell you, now you are all sitting in the chair. Are you all comfortable in this chair? Highly comfortable? No. So to make that highly comfortable, what more can you do? Okay, what else? See, logically thinking, yes, this cushion should be there, back should be provided. These are logical things which we already know. Now try to come up with new things which you don't know. If suppose you don't have to move only and everything you have to get from this chair, what can be done? You don't have to move now. Now you will be, okay, now you have to be here. Let's say I'll tell you that 2 days you have to stay here. And they are going to lock this room and they are going to go at their places. With this help of this chair, how you can manage 2 days? Think of different alternatives. What you need to have, so that if you tell me that this, please provide me this in this chair, you 2 days what? 7 days you go, I am comfortable. What can those things be?
Many things can be.
Not many things, not many things. So this is how you can come out with lots of creativity. I want a button which will directly,
Including one, I mean, it's a funny thing.
Please, please.
To provide a hole also here.
Right? Perfectly. As I told you, you are not going to get up from this chair.
2 days I cannot move. So
You are not going to get up from this chair. Perfectly right. So lot many things can be done. You are hungry. You want tea. How? This chair can help you to get all these things. There are systems been implemented. It's already been there. Once you get inside the door, what is the first thing which you want? You want a
What is it?
want a water, right? Once you have traveled and have come, and you want water. So now nobody is there in the house. So you need to get some water. So there should be some place wherein immediately some water should come and you should drink it. So all this connectivity, if we make it in the house, finish. You don't require anything. Then when you sit in the chair, automatically the fan starts. You have a button in the chair which will directly connect you to the shop, and the shopkeeper will bring the tea for you. The second button directly to the hotel. So lot many things can be done, provided you are more creative. So come out with all these things. You'll be your neurons will be getting more activated. So with this, you are entertaining yourself also. At the same time, your brain is also working. It's much more helping you to build up a structure, and your life will be completely happy and enjoyable. Okay, then the kinesthetic learners. The kinesthetic learners want their movements. Kinesthetic is body movements. So they always feel whenever they are doing it, they do like this, or yes, this, that. Okay. So this is the way they try to connect. So whenever they sit for the paper, they come to know, okay, when I did like this, okay, it was like that. So you need to understand the learning styles. So once you understand them, then you can mold them. There are a lot of issues. There are some drawbacks also in each. So you need to come out. You need to first analyze what the type of student is, and you need to provide those things to them, and they can be best of the learners and get good grades. Okay. Up till now, any questions? Okay.
Neurons of left brain and right brain are the same?
Yeah, they are same.
They are neurons that are dead. Some,
Okay.
and new neurons are coming up.
Okay.
Both the neurons of left brain and right brain are the same.
Yes.
They,
No, I'll put up this question in some other way. There are certain neurons, there's some part of the brain which gets dead.
they pass on the information of right brain to left brain and left brain to right
No, left brain activity is too logical, and right brain activity is creative. So the connection, left brain goes to the right comes to this thing. Now if I ask you a simple thing, 2 plus 2 is 5. Logical, will you accept this? 2 plus 2 is 5. You will not accept. So logically it's not possible. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now suppose if I tell you 3 plus 2 is 4. You will not accept. 3 plus 2 is 5. But creative brain will find reasons as to how 3 plus 2 can become 4. Can anybody? 3 plus 2 can become 4. Logical brain wants realistic figures. 3 plus 2. Now I have learned 3 plus 2 is 5. It cannot become 4. It will not accept. But a creative brain will find reasons. Okay, 3 plus 2, 5. 3 plus 2, 4. Okay, how? Okay, I'll just give a small hint. In a glass of, there is 2 glasses, 3 ml and sorry, 3 full glasses and 2 full glasses. Now I want this to 3 plus 2, 4. What can, there can be n things. How it is possible?
It's called water.
Water.
The drop part of it.
Drop part of it becomes 4. It's creative. Okay. What are other answers? This logical brain will not accept. Right? Let's give an answer which logical brain also will accept.
I know, so I will not tell.
Just repeat the
3 plus 2 is equal to 4.
glasses.
Yeah, 3 glasses and 2 glasses.
3 glasses and 2
2 glasses full of water.
All are full.
All are water, yes.
All full of water.
Yes.
So either you make 4 glasses empty of water and make it full.
So one glass you throw it, so that when drop it. So creative, because you are creative, you want to do something different. So you drop that water, it becomes 4. Okay, that is one answer. So creative does not have yes and no or wrong and right. Whatever you say, that's completely is your thinking process. What can be other answers, which maybe logical brain also can accept? Now this logical brain will not accept. No, 3 plus 2, तो टूट गया ना, फिर भी that is 1, no? 3 plus 2, 5. टूटा भी है, फिर भी water ही है ना उसमें. And the glass is there, na? So logical brain will not accept.
Either you make 4 glasses empty of water. So 4 glasses will be there and one is the filled of water.
Okay, good. This is a creative way of answer. Yes. So in one, this thing you put 4, it becomes 4, and that you keep it aside. Okay, fair enough. Accept. But logical brain will not accept this answer. If you heat 5 glasses of water, if you heat it, and one part of that water becomes gas, condensed, then 4 cups are remaining. So 3 plus 2 is 4. 4 glass of water is remaining. 1 glass of water is gone. Gone as converted into gas. This logical brain will accept it, yes. But this is a creative way of doing it.
So both are the same. No? What I said is either empty 4 glasses or filled 4 glasses.
But that is filled, no, you can see it, you can observe it. The 5th glass which has condensed into water vapor, we cannot see it, but it was there.
Completely evaporated.
Completely evaporated. So this you need to come out with different solutions. Now to activate your brain, you can take up your regular issues, regular challenges, and try to think in a very different way. Regular way, use it only. Let's say another exercise I wish to give you. Now suppose you have 2000 rupees and you have to pay your child's fees or maybe electric bill, and if it is not paid today, the electricity is going to get cut, or maybe they are going to remove your child out from the school. So where is a critical issue? 2000 you have. I come to you. I have a pen costing 5000 rupees, but I am ready to give you 2000 rupees. What are you going to do? It's a beautiful pen. You like it, and it's a need for you also. It's not that you don't need it. You need that pen, and you have liked it very much. What are you going to do? ₹5,000. I am giving it 2,000 rupees, and it's really worth 5,000 rupees. In this situation, what you are going to do? What?
And all those two tasks has to be completed.
Yes. Those 2,000 you have with you, they have to be paid. Otherwise, your line will be cut, and it's a critical issue.
I shall buy from you and then sell it to somebody else.
Okay, this is a marketing answer. Yeah, I'll buy it from you. I'll sell it 2,500 rupees. I'll get a profit of 500 rupees. But each of one will not do this. You're right. It's a marketing point of view. You're right. What other common people will do? I get this answer a lot many times when I put forward these questions. This is the first answer which I get. I'll purchase it, I'll sell it, and I'll fulfill my need. दोनों काम हो गया.
Now, 2000 rupees I have to take. Tomorrow I will come and, or after 2 days, and the same pen I will purchase from you.
But today only, somebody else will take it.
2500.
No, somebody will say, wait, I have only one pen. After 2 days, maybe today itself somebody takes it. After 2 days when you come to me, I say, sorry sir, I have just given it.
Before bargaining or giving pen, they are asking him to wait for tomorrow, and I will come and
No, I am ready to wait. If I don't get customer, I will wait. But if I get a customer, I will sell it off.
So
tomorrow I don't know the guarantee, no, that tomorrow you are going to come.
If it is worth for 5,000, why you will say for 2,000?
Maybe I need money. See, now you are perfectly right. I am not saying you are wrong. See, you are thinking logically.
Input you have to accept unconditional.
No, you are thinking, now this is thinking is logical. Why this person is selling? Yes, it has to be there. You have to analyze because you are going to invest. Maybe he might fool me. So your analysis is not wrong. So through your logical brain you are thinking. I want to use your creative brain. We are logical, day in and day out we are using. नहीं ये 2000 में some कुछ problem है. Normally we think like this. Why 5,000 pen? Why is selling for 2,000? कुछ problem है. So we are always into this logical mode. So let's come out from this logical mode and try to think creatively what can be done so that I'll be able to pay the fees also, I'll be able to manage to take this also. What can be done? How you will think on this issue? This is a thinking process. So you need to captivate on thinking process, you need to captivate on your creative skills, you need to captivate how many solutions I can find out, what are the different ways I can look onto this situation, how I can tackle this situation.
Being to a friend or known person who believes me. 5,000 when I am paying him for 2,000.
So maybe we know each other, okay, and I said I am in need of 2,000 rupees, that's why I am selling, otherwise I would have not sold this pen. It's very close to my heart. I am today badly in need of 2,000 rupees. Please, if you have 2,000, please, otherwise I will sell it to others because I badly need 2,000 today itself.
No person believes his word that I am coming tomorrow. Till then you take as
No, again that is logical.
that is, you take this as a security.
That is logical. Normally it happens. Yes, you are right. Normally it happens. Yes, I trust you. Said okay, chalo, theek hai. You give me tomorrow. Today, even if somebody comes, I will not give. That is logical. But creative, I want you to be more creative. Think what are different things which you can do. Come out with solutions.
Even this 2,000, if that new man doesn't believe there is something wrong, why he is giving this for 2,000?
No, again that's logical. I want you to think creatively and I want to build up your thinking process. What can be done?
No, he will not give it that 2,000 also.
नहीं अभी कंडीशन एक्सेप्ट कर लो ना कंडीशन एक्सेप्ट कर लो कि 2,000 देंगे और 5,000 का पेन मिलने वाला है
And the pen is good.
Good.
Everything is good.
and genuine
Genuine pen. Yes. Accept the condition. Now I want you to gear up your thinking process. What can be different things which can come to your mind? If n number of solutions come, if you come out with 10 different solutions, then you can say, okay, let's try this 8th solution and let's try the 10th solution. What happens? But if those 10 solutions are not going to come, maybe you may lose a good pen. Maybe that the pen is just an example. Maybe it can come in form of opportunity. It can be a job offer. Accept today or leave it. Or maybe a sale is there. So I'm just putting you a pen as an example. This can be an opportunity. This can be a different type of incentive to you. So when we say that yes, that person was lucky, what do you mean by he was lucky? He had taken the decision at the right time. We have not taken the decisions. We have not thought about it. We were not that visionary. We were not able to anticipate what will happen. Now the same thing, if your friend has taken, you will say, you are lucky, Baba. You got that 2,000 pen. I was not lucky. You were also lucky.
One way, I mean, I don't know whether it is logical or it, okay, I will take that pen.
Okay.
Then I will not pay both the school fee, but only thing get the acceptance from the principal that I give me few days. I will pay late fees, and for electric also late fees. So I have those some 2-3 days or 5 days at my disposal. I will go to antique dealer or somebody and I will get best bargain. So in a process I have paid late fees also and I have collected my 2,000.
So this is one way. There are so many ways. So many ways. So like this we need to think. Perfectly right. There is no wrong answer. The way you think, each person of us think in different way. Each person has different way of analyzing the things, way of different things. Maybe somebody will call, अरे यार please, आज ये पेन लेके तेरे पास ही रख. Whenever I have money, I'll take it from you. I may not tell him that this is an antique pen or he is selling us 2000. Pen लेके रख, मैं तेरे पास से कर लेता हूँ. Whatever. These are one way. Different ways. You can have 10, 15 different ways, depending upon how you think the matter will be. Just like chair, we have n number of ways. We only need to think. There are lateral thinking, there are divergent thinking.
Creative way to solve this?
Lot many ways. As you mentioned, you will just give before I have come to you, before only you give a call. Is it okay that if I pay the fees tomorrow? Or can you just as you mentioned, can I pay late fees? I am ready to pay the late fees. Or you call your friend, whatever. So many ways.
So many ways. Because you are not losing anything.
Yes.
You are gaining only.
Yes. Or as sir said, yes, trust factor. Trust me, I'll give it tomorrow. So everything is right in his own way. Only our approach should be a positive, and you need to know, yes, this can happen. You need to believe. Now, do you all say that seeing is believing is right? So the logical brain always, whatever see, I believe. This chair is broken. When I see this, okay, broken part, then only I believe. If he gives me a call and tells me, sir, the chairs which you have sent it, they are broken, I'll not believe, because I have to see that. Okay, so the left brain believes in the reality factors, what I see. The right brain, for right brain is believing is seeing. If I believe in certain things, then I can see it. If I believe that we all can fly, I can actually see all of you flying, because I have believed in you. I believe you all can just, from here you just press your button and wings will come out and you will fly. If you tell me and I believe this, as a child he believes, no? Yeah. And he sees that thing. You tell a child that, okay, now this, from here also you can see the sun, come, we'll go there. From there also I'll show you the sun. So he believes in you and then he sees everything. So see the concept. So the left brain is seeing is believing, and the right brain is believing is seeing. So what you believe, that you see. So for you to believe, the right brain only wants you to believe what can happen. If in a classroom, if I say 50 students, that all of you can come first. If they don't believe, they don't come first. If each student believes, yes, I can come first, provided I do this A, B, C, D, E. And I teach them A, B, C, D, E. And after teaching A, B, C, D, if all of them believe, yes, it can be done. No, it's not possible only at all. Then you're not believing it. So you're completely realistic in real terms. No, my child, I know, he cannot go beyond 60%. On what basis you are saying? He cannot go beyond this. Otherwise some parents are, no, he cannot go beyond 90%. He has to get 90 and above. On what basis? There are a lot of other circumstances. There are a lot of matters. When we say, suppose if I ask you a simple question, how many of you feel that you are excellent? Your memory is excellent? No? How many of you feel your memory is ठीक है, अच्छा है, not good, not bad? Okay. How many of you feel that your memory is poor?
Not to reach that way. Not reach that way.
Okay. So now when you say that my memory is poor or good or bad or excellent, these are terminologies used only for in terms of your studying ability, your IQ. So IQ does not build your structure. There are social quotient, there are emotional quotients. So all these need to be built up so that you know that yes, we all are extraordinary. The difference between you and me is I am trained memory and you are untrained. That's all. There is no other difference. It's not that we all have the same type of brain. Then how can I say that you are excellent, I am poor? The same brain we are having. Only is the usage. I have learnt last 6 years how to use it. Prior to that I was again same as you. I had not been trained. I didn't knew. I had also difficulties during my studies. I had learning disabilities. I was not able to understand the numbers. History was completely, I was not okay with history, and I never scored good marks in history. It is not because my teachers were not good. Teachers were excellent. Teachers did their job very well. Geography also, the maps, locations, I was not able to get them. I was very poor in history and geography. I was very good in maths, science. I used to score complete marks, full marks in maths. So what will you say? What will be my, if you ask at that time, how is your memory? I'll say poor. On what basis I'm saying poor? History and geography. On maths term, what I'll say? My memory is high. How can it happen? Here it is high and here it is poor.
One subject you may be liking more, another subject you are not liking.
Right, but so based on that,
like you remember very well.
yes, now the history and geography is fantastic. Today I like it very much. Why? Because I know how to learn it. So why we don't like the subject? There are reasons behind it. I don't emphasize. I don't understand the topic. Nobody has explained me in a proper way. So it's because of some factors, I am suffering. At that time only somebody might have taught me memory techniques, I would have scored much better. Today I can challenge. We have championships. There we have an event called historical dates, wherein nearly about 200-300 dates have been given, and 5 minutes are given to memorize. As much dates you can, in 5 minutes you have to memorize. So here the techniques help you to memorize hundreds of dates. Believe me, hundreds. With the rote memory, just 10 with the ratta, you'll go on, and in the answer paper you write those 10 dates, and number one person has 150 dates, and you have 10 because you have not been taught how to memorize that. You have not been taught how to recall that. Methods are not known. So once you know the method, now cycling. When we are not learned the cycling, we say, oh, very difficult, I'll fall down. But when we learn it, it's a piece of cake. So just you need to understand the methodology, understand the systems. Now the second part I'm moving towards it. The system, when we teach a lot of students, nearly about lakhs of students have learned these techniques. They have tremendously good examples, and they are all getting excellent results. It's not that warranty. I'll not say that only this much students, only these 3 or 4 students can do it well. They might find it difficult because of their old age. No. The techniques are applicable for all, and guaranteed results can be achieved once they have been used in a proper way. Once you need to understand your techniques and use it. It's a practice. So once you practice those techniques, once you know that techniques, you'll be excellent into it. Some of the students they have been named. It's a talking calendar in the school. Any dates they want, they just go to the students and they tell that this date, okay, this examination is done this date, and this is Tuesday or Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever. So they have been named after talking calendars. Some of my students are excellent into calculations, mind calculations. Some of the students are long answers. Now I quote my example. Whenever as I told you, I am a very visual learner, so I can see the picture. So it sometimes happens because of the stress, you get maybe some clarity is not there in the answer. But I know the whole answer, so one answer I started right from the back. I knew it was 2-page answer. So 1 page I left, the second page right from the bottom I started, and I came to the first part. I got full marks. Now why? Because of the technique. If the technique is not there, with the rote memory, what happens? If I lose one word, I lose the complete whole thing which is lying beneath. So techniques helps you to understand where what can be placed and how that place can be identified and how you need to do it. Technique is very simple, known to the unknown. There are many known things which we have. You have to connect. As I told, association. There are association techniques for it. Once you know the association technique, you need to connect to the known things.
How many types of techniques are there?
There are near about VT around 60 to 70 types of techniques.
70 types of
Yes.
techniques?
It's completely for the young students, for the corporates, for the professionals, for the senior citizen. Last 2.5 years I am doing research for the learning disability students. So we have to create some new techniques for them. I've been doing one-to-one sessions with dyslexia, dysgraphia, autism, dyscalculus. I've been dealing with MS patients.
Techniques and the methods are only to memorize the numbers or any other?
Numbers is one part.
Names or
Yes, different techniques are there.
subjects like
different techniques are there for different, for names, different techniques are there, for numbers, for binaries, for memorize a pack of cards, 52 pack of cards, they are all different. You need to memorize in a sequence. We also take school memory championship, national championships. So wherein there are 10 events. So you can get all the information on our website, so that
All in capitals.
yeah, you can put it in smaller. Okay, any questions?